going to give my quick hot take about the Buck series because I'm going to be talking about this ad nauseum for a week. The Heat have the guys, right? They have the bodies to throw at Giannis, and they have the best Giannis defender in the NBA in Bam Adebayo. And if you could stick Bam Adebayo on Giannis for 40 minutes, you're not going to neutralize Giannis, but you're going to make him inefficient, and you're going to decrease his ability to pass out. And that's where they kill you. Because you pay so much attention to Giannis that guys like Chris Middleton just square up and kill you. And what the Magic did a lot of times, they walled off Giannis, but they also trapped Middleton, and Middleton don't know how to handle that kind of pressure. No. So the thing is, the Heat can guard Giannis with guys, individual guys, way better than the Magic can. They have DJJ, which I don't know if he's strong enough, but he's there. You got Jay Crowder, you got Andre Iguodala, you got Jimmy Butler, and you have the ultimate in Bam Adebayo. You got 5 bodies that you could throw at Giannis to the point where you don't have to triple team him all the time. You could send those very timely double teams with a guy like Dragic, who's very good with his hands, who can strip the ball down low. And they've done that very well. Tyler Hero is really good at that. Kendrick Nunn is one of the biggest problems because he's not timely on the double teams, and he's not getting enough minutes. But what I'm trying to say is that Heat are set up very well to either beat the Bucks or play them very hard. So I'm like I said, I'm gonna talk about this ad nauseum for a week on 5 on the Floor. So I want to get your guys' takes on this. So I'm just gonna go around the clock, right? I'm gonna start with Matthew. Heat, Bucks, next round. What are you seeing happen? Give me 30 seconds.
Okay, so going on what you said, right? We have so many individual bodies that can go at the Bucks. Our closing lineup has about at least 4 people that can individually guard, Giannis. So that means that if the game is close,
wait. I'm stopping you, Matthew. They don't have 4 guys in that closing lineup that can guard Giannis.
Andre, Jimmy, Bam.
That's
Jay?
it.
Crowder?
Well, no, Jay's only been in one time. Let's not.
Well, we don't know. We don't know yet.
Okay, but no, you're right. Go ahead.
They have at least 3. They have at least 3. Depending on what Eric Spoelstra does, they might have 4. Right. So I think that we've been practicing this to play the Bucks. I know that we don't like to look ahead, and I know that Eric Spoelstra says we're focusing on this team, but I do believe that every team tries to get some practice in before you play that next team. And I'll be sad and angry if we don't at least take this to 6 to 7 games.
Alfredo, Bucks.
Okay, Budenholzer tries to find ways to initiate offense with Giannis. And one of the ways that he tries to do it is try to set a bunch of picks at midcourt and try to get him the ball at the top of the key so he can initiate offense. Most teams like to use a smaller guy, namely a point guard, to guard the ball on Giannis when he's at the top of the key. Don't do that. Just send your big guys over there and guard his hands.
That's what I was going to say.
The Bucks are best when Giannis, it's very simple. He's taller, he's longer, he's skilled. If he could pass over you, he could pass around you, he could shoot over you, he's going to beat you. So you send your big guys, you send your guys that have length to guard his hands and ball pressure constantly all game in his face and make everybody else beat you.
Adam.
To be quite honest, I think I don't have the guts. I think Bucks 6. I just think that the key to stopping the Bucks is going to be Bam, and he's going to be the key to whatever they do in the future. But I think Bam is going to get, for a few games, he's going to get into foul trouble a little too many times during over the course of the series. And I think that's what's going to stop the Heat. And going back from what you were saying earlier, I think overachieving would actually be losing to the Bucks in 7. As much of a downer as it is, I just don't. The one move that Giannis has that nobody can seem to stop is that spin right under the basket that nobody knows how to stop. I just don't know what you can do about it except for walling off guys, and then you'll have Chris Middleton open for 3. So I don't know what the Heat can do about it, but we'll see.
I'll tell you what they can do about it.
Adam, you need a drink.
We could do what Alfredo just was saying. I feel as if the key to success here, like you said, Bam, DJJ, for Alf's point about length. DJJ is a great one-on-one defender. Strength, maybe not, but can he stay in front of Giannis enough? The key with Giannis is you want to make him dribble more than he has to. He still can't shoot. These are the facts that we do know. He's basically the same player from last year in the playoffs. Maybe a little more aggressive, a little more seasoned, but he still has the same weaknesses. If you play him straight up and you cover those so he's not driving and kicking to Middleton and DiVincenzo, and you make him have to beat you just one-on-one, then we can afford to give Giannis 30 points. You know what I'm saying? The person who I'm really worried about is the freaking Lopez brother, the shooter. He's the one who, no matter what you do, I mean, that he's a stretch five that legit causes problems. However, I feel like if you guard Giannis one-on-one and you just ask your best defenders to do their best job, don't double off of them and make everybody else have to beat you like what Alfredo was saying. So I think you got a chance to win that series.
So here's my thing. Who starts on Giannis? Because we've seen that Spo is not comfortable with 4 quarters with Bam on Giannis. I think Jay Crowder starts on Giannis and Bam starts on Brook Lopez. Because you don't want Bam in foul trouble. You just don't. Like, come on.
Do y'all think Spo is going to pull the zone out? I mean, you got a team who's been shooting. Eric Bledsoe's a terrible shooter. Middleton is on a terrible little slump right here. Giannis is not a shooter like that.
Listen, I like the zone in small doses, right? The problem with the season with the zone, it became like their primary defense until they made that trade, which is like a lot of people were mad at me like, oh, I've been a Justice supporter. How could I support that trade? Because Justice wasn't healthy.
Justice
right?
Who?
Justice Winslow. Justice wasn't healthy. And Dion and JJ, I mean, come on. Like, they were unplayable.
Yeah, it was zone out of necessity. And
because you didn't have the matchups. Now they put a lineup out. I was watching today, like the Pacers are looking for mismatches. There are none.
No.
Mm-hmm. But we're talking about the Bucks, and I'm saying Lopez is your biggest, I think, mismatch that we have outside of Giannis. Everybody else, I think we can square up pretty evenly. But Robin Lopez is a bit of a Brook Lopez is a bit of a
Robin's a goofy one off the bench.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Go ahead.
I'll say the one thing that the Heat actually having a bit of an advantage is their guard play defensively, because the guards on the Bucks aren't as explosive, aren't as good as the guards on the Pacers. So we're not going to see all these blow-bys that we've seen in this series. So I think that's going to be pretty big for guys like Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic.
Adam, I think that's huge because we talk about on 5 on the floor, the point of attack defense on the Heat is just terrible. But you saw in this series, it wasn't that big of a deal because Victor Oladipo doesn't have all of his explosiveness. And when he did start to get his act together, they put Jay Crowder on him, and they also double teamed him and trapped him a lot. So that explosiveness wasn't as effective. And the Bucks don't have those guys. My concern with the Heat is when it comes to the Raptors and the Celtics.
Yeah.
When you're going up against Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Kemba Walker, all these boys as Stephen A. Smith,
and them boys.
Kemba Walker and them boys. Like that's where I get concerned about the Heat. But the problem with the Bucks is Giannis is a monster. So but the Heat also have the guys for Giannis. I think we're gonna, and I'm probably gonna end this here because we're at 40 minutes. We're 10 minutes over. I think we're going to talk about this series. Well, of course, we're going to talk about the series a lot going forward. The most important thing is I think the thing that we have to look at is the Heat in the second round is where we all wanted them to be at the beginning of the season. And at this point, it's a win. I think a sweep would be if the Heat got swept, it'd be a huge disappointment. But the Heat taking the Bucks to 6 or 7, and if the Heat win, that's all icing on the cake. And we got to start looking forward to next year. But we will talk more about the Heat-Bucks series on 5 on the floor, or the Heat-Magic series to be politically correct. But I want to thank everybody the chat has been live, man. It's extremely live. Like there's a million comments. Thank you for everybody supporting 5 on the floor, supporting 5 Reading the Sports.